You ready? Alrighty. So these are the olfactory bulbs, and this right here is the olfactory tract. Okay, so this is the olfactory tract, olfactory bulb. Okay. Next, we're going to go on to our optic nerves. Okay, this can be separated into our optic tract. Okay, that's this little part right here that leads to our optic chiasma. And then the optic nerve itself will come out through the optic foramen and to the eyeball itself, which you guys probably recognize the optic nerve from the eye. So those will come out here and to the eye. Optic chiasma, and then the optic tract is going to lead to those. Now, side note from the cranial nerves, our pituitary gland is going to sit right here posterior to the optic chiasma. So it would be like out here would be our pituitary gland. Okay? And then these guys right here are our oculomotor nerves. So this is what innervates and controls our eye movement. Okay? Some other things we need to deal with while we are down here are going to be the reason alligators are so ornery, which is the medulla oblongata. And then those alligators live in ponds. Okay, alligators are so ornery because of their medulla oblongata, and those alligators live in ponds. P-O-N-S, though. Okay, and then this back here, of course, is the spinal cord. Okay, next we can go ahead and move on to our mid-sagittal cut. Good to go? Okay. So I'm just going to run through everything here. I'll try to make it relatively quick. So we have our spinal cord. This leads to the medulla oblongata. We just saw that from the underneath view, right? Here we have the pons. Okay, this of course is the cerebellum. This white stuff here, right? This is myelinated nerves, right? It's like a highway for sending nervous signals. That is called the arbor vitae because it looks like a tree. Our landmark here is going to be the pineal gland. That's right here on the probe. Sitting just posterior to it, in sheep at least, we have the corpora quadrigemina. Okay, this is the superior colliculi. This is the inferior colliculi. Okay, to these together are the corpora quadrigemina. Okay, now this area here is known as the thalamus. This area here is known as the hypothalamus. Next, we have the fornix. Okay, this sits inferior or below the lateral ventricle. And then above it, we have the corpus callosum. Or the corpus callosum, either is acceptable. Okay, so fornix, corpus callosum. What my probe is going into now is the lateral ventricle. So we have a left and a right lateral ventricle. Those are going to be separated, right? So when we have a brain together, right, we have a nice little membrane in the middle. It got kind of destroyed when we cut it in half. But a membrane that would cover this is known as the septum pellucidum. Okay, septum pellucidum. Yeah, so those are the lateral ventricles. So that's 2 lateral ventricles. And then here we have our third ventricle. That is then going to follow the aqueduct of Sylvius, which you can actually see here a bit, or the cerebral aqueduct into the fourth ventricle. Okay, and that is it for the brain.